Hey guys, welcome back. It's Lucid, and we're back with another round of Mountain Arena. I got a message from Micklin. I distrust Agartha's failure to storm the Vanheim fort. I'm bringing the whole Vanheim region army to defend the fort he looks like he's about to move on to. It's got 7 candles of Vanheim Dominion, so I'm optimistic about being able to soul slay the Earth-made flesh. I guess there's some magic scales in that. Hopefully after cursing him and afflicting him to hell. A note on economics. I have very high death and air incomes, with few mages for those paths, which is why I've been happily spamming remote attacks from those paths wherever I feel it will generate an advantage. I'm glad to have provoked Lanka into sending birds to counter-raid me. 20 air cost Lanka a lot more, since they are smaller, and it's one of their most important gem types. What I'm not happy about is how many blood slaves I'm spending on magic phase attacks. Horde from Hell cast is 8 Aussies, and I've still got less than 100 of them total, which is very funny considering so many turns ago Balin's message about 600 Aussies, or 800 or something. But I think it's worth continuing to pick off enemy formations with them. In particular, I'm hoping to kill 50 fire worth of demons, of the heavenly fire demons this turn. My sieging force on the Crystal Throne did some damage to the fort, so it's not iron walls. I estimate Lanka has like 300 siege defense in that fort, which probably means 100 plus Rakshasas plus some other forces. I feel pretty confident that 10 Aussies on guard commander with a Ring of Warning will keep my High Priest safe from assassins, but I'll need a Mage Corps to storm the throne, which doesn't seem worth committing on top of a Well of Pestilence, given the TNG advance. I'm planning to bypass the Crystal Throne with a raiding party capable of one-turn pop being fortresses, and perhaps see whether Lanka doesn't have anyone at home in the Machaka capital. If nothing else, I'll take some pressure off to get Lanka worrying about their home territory. As a final note, I've got boosters to cast... I've got the boosters to cure disease on my poor afflicted crystal mages. The case. There's an item that will do cure disease. I don't know, maybe that's what he meant. He's able to forge now. A message from Yomi. Made a sweep with the Dionis this turn. Found magic sites with 9 gem income total, effectively quadrupling the gem income from the Needful section. Shame and disgrace. I think it's time for our lecture about the importance of site searching. Yeah, Niflheim didn't really... It's one of the things, like, if someone just knowing the history of the game, like, Niflheim kind of was running around with Nifl Jarls and was struggling. Basically, the more people are struggling, oftentimes the less they're site searching. It's not always the case, but it's a pretty good rule. Like, somebody in a desperate war is pretty unlikely to, I've done a lot of site searching. Here we've got 3 hordes from Hellcasts. And this is against this is this attack Micklin was talking about, the demons of the heavenly rivers. And notably, these guys don't have any protection. They're just wearing pajamas. So they're actually very vulnerable to imps. Of course, they can kill imps, reasonably fine. They've got, reasonably high damage attack. But they're only packing 2 punches per tile, and these guys are packing a lot. I think it's, 12. So they're actually really good. This is like actually the perfect unit to kill with imps. So props on Micklin doing this. Like 0 protection dudes do not like being surrounded by imps. This chariot, though, has killed a few of them. But even still, I mean, this was 100-something, probably 120 blood slaves to cast this. He had a Moon Priest here, too. I guess this guy was doing Bloodlust on them. And still loses a bunch of imps. I mean, let's do it again. I'm making sure he's casting Bloodlust. Yeah. So, pretty cool combo. Definitely something Micklin can do. Not something I've seen a lot before, but very nice. Micklin using some Blackhawks. Take out a bit of PD. Horror Strike against Lanka. Let's just come in here and look. So this is actually like a proper army here from Lanka that Micklin ran into. All right, get out the popcorn. Sorry if y'all hear things in the background. I just got a new puppy. Turn on team colored squares here. And he's playing with my other dog. There's a bunch of jaguars here, but these jaguars are going to get torn up by these quickness sacreds from Lanka. And the imps are going to land, but the imps aren't going to do particularly well. This is like the thing with Aussies. If you don't have Aussies in a critical number, they tend to kind of get killed. Aussies really do require a certain kind of critical mass. Okay. Well, that was pretty bloody on both sides. Killed a Yogini, 2 Mound Kings, some chaff. How many sacreds? 14 of the sacreds. But loses 30 Aussies. I feel like Micklin probably undercounted. I feel like he had probably more than 100 Aussies before. But this is a big blow. Like, while this is somewhat casual in terms of a raiding party in the mage department, it's actually pretty high commitment in the Aussie department. So, yeah, what Micklin was hoping to achieve by buying some space for him, for himself, you know, he didn't really. Like, where was the magic phase attack? I can't have been this one. That was the brass claws. Where was? Oh, that was against Tianchi. So this was the magic phase attack. Oh no, that was one magic phase attack. And Tianchi clears it out with some footmen. Where was? I'm looking for a bunch of imps. One second, let's just see where it was. So it was here. Okay, so Tianchi had done some deep raiding with these guys. They're being led by a vampire so they could fly around. They couldn't get blessed, though, which was, I'm sure, a bit annoying for them. And that bless may have helped, because, you know, Tianchi has a decent amount of stats in their bless, and that might have helped with the imps, because it wasn't like, even though this looks like a massacre, a lot of these imps actually retreated. So, certainly a PD dump would have protected this, but... yeah, so Micklin lost major ground on the Lanka front this turn. It's not like an army he can't afford to lose, but it is a major army. I'm not a major army. It is significant, is I guess the proper way to say it. On the Tianchi front, he's killed these raiders. He's killed these raiders, these celestial hounds. He's killed these raiders. Basically, all the Tianchi raiders got wrecked this turn. And this is one of the things, like, this is how you know the Micklin player is good. I would say, like, one of the best tests of being a good player is it expensive to fight you or not? Because even, you know, diplomacy can go south on you, or, you know, maybe you lose a big battle or something. You can't really judge a player always by just, you know, the quality of the battle, the major battles. I mean, you kind of can. But you can see both Lanka this turn, right, and Micklin this turn against Tianchi have made raiding very expensive. So it's a good understanding of kind of the trade-offs, what they're likely to attack, and the ability to just magic phase punish people that are raiding you. So very cool. Here he got attacked by miscovered Highland Indies. So that's pretty interesting. I think we'll probably speed along here. That's turn 52. Let's see if there's anything else. Agartha, I'm not really clear what they're doing. We've got Niflheim with the scout. Lanka killing some Indies or getting killed by them. Yomi looks like they're coming in to kill. Yeah. Okay, they've taken this fort, which Niflheim built back. So they've declared themselves the owner of Niflheim. Is that Niflheim out of the game? Did they fail one of the places? Okay, where is this? This is the last of the... Yeah, this is the last of the Niflheim holdouts right over here. And it's stormed this turn. So assuming that the Yomi hits this, that will be... Well, and this, which they might bump the elves. The elves really should try to get this. This would be a really good short-term objective for them. Get this throne. It'd be nice to keep this one off of Yomi for a lot of reasons. Least of which is, or not least of which is denying them the gnome. And Earth magic access, especially from a gnome, would be really good for TNN. So let's take a look real quick at what they're doing. TNC's balling up here, kind of indecisive. Micklin did some kind of lower commitment stuff against Lanka and got shut down, but otherwise is keeping this army here, basically trying to protect both channels, right? He's trying to protect Lanka from coming in too far this way and TNC from coming in too far this way. Yomi's working on putting the nail in the coffin for Niflheim. Agartha's got a lot of umbrals here. What are they doing? This stack is here. So they did move off. I think they were on this fort last turn and then they moved off this way. So he's moved most of his army here. So Agartha's going to have to fight if they're coming here. I don't know if they were staying here last turn. I kind of want to check. I'm going to pause. Okay, so previous turn, no, it was sitting here. So Micklin thought they were going to attack here this turn, moved into defense. But Agartha sat still, surprisingly. And I think that brings us basically to the end of this turn. I think that's basically it for this one. Let's go ahead and go to the next turn, turn 53. All right, turn 53. Another message from Micklin. I'm attempting to overcast Eternal Pyre with Yomi having a 40% split this turn. Interesting. If it works, I intend to turn my share into Lightless Lanterns and finally get my research going. I'll need a few key 7s and 8s. Based on the rate of reinforcements, it appears that TNG has been turning all their fire income into sacreds. So they probably aren't getting it back. As long as I can keep my Eternal Pyrecaster alive, that is. The loss of my Dodge the Enemy Sacred's rating force on its way to rating is unfortunate. About a turn of blood income to replace, plus a capital turn for the mage. Yeah, plus he also had all the MC summoned, so he's really out. I think his net Aussie number went down this turn. I should have been more careful with its movement, but ultimately I need to take some risks. And one thing it did accomplish is keeping the world's Ensura population safely low. At least I don't have great hordes from hell targets this turn, on account of having caught all of TNC's raiding parties, so I can spend most of my blood slaves on Aussies. I've decided to trust Agartha's assurances this turn and not patrol my fort next to their army. The happy news is I finally found the gold to build a temple there, so I'm getting my first ice root at last. And that's really nice. It's another source of high water mages. Or, well, high. I think they're water too. I have a bunch more infrastructure to build. Temple in Vanheim, Lab Temple, and the Free Citadel I found north of my cap site searching. Death last turn, Fort in the enchantment discount site, and alas, no free gold. Message from Vanheim. Well, life has been crazy now that the Earth people want my fort, so I move back to take my home. Let's hope for the best. We have 2 dire portents. Statman Morgador, I think this is Team Cheese God, cast something. I think this is Earthblood Deepwell. And Micklin looks like they successfully cast Pyre, so I think we'll see Earthblood Deepwell up. Yeah, and Pyre has switched ownership. We've got some more horror attacks. Unsuccessful here at killing Lanka, but it did thin out some of the chaff hordes. Yeah, the birds doing what they normally do, which is die. And undead being proving to be reasonably useful against all manner of horrors, as they usually are. They don't have to worry about fear and stuff, which is nice. Gosh, Lanka has a lot of horrors. I think this was not Lanka, Micklin. I mean, I think in total he cast like 6 or 7 horrors this turn. Man, Belly Maul horrors are good. He got a really nice roll on him. It looks like, oh, he got Soul Torn too. Yeah, so this was 3 horror casts. This was 1. And this was 2. So 6 horror casts this turn. That's a lot of horrors. And I mean, it's what? I forget how much it is. I can't remember if it's 7 or 9. 9, yeah. So I mean, that's a significant amount of gems. They can win 2 of those provinces. And some of this is just going to keep the pressure on Lanka so they don't... I think what Micklin really wants to avoid is he doesn't want, like, Lanka winding up to swing at him again. That's kind of the worst thing when you're in a coalition, which, you know, is this coalition? It's kind of a 2v1 at this point. It's Lanka and TNG against him, but TNG's mostly sitting here looking. So TNG's getting ready to strike, and I think the really scary thing would be if they both coordinate, like if they both build up and attack at the exact same time. So him putting pressure on Lanka where he sees opportunities is a pretty good way to keep Lanka from being ready to like fully commit. And it looks like puppies are going crazy. Yeah, it looks like Yomi's coming to put the nail in the coffin of Niffle. Where did did he run from fear? Was there a Dione that retreated here? They did. I think they ran from the fear aura on this guy. He's got a lot of fear. Fear 7? That hard hat did some work. Spooked off 2 Dione. Ooh, this guy is rather thick. 170 HP. Fatigued out. If he gets like a bleeding affliction, they might be able to kill him, but they're not getting anywhere close to 18 damage a turn right now. Yeah, this is right now not even close. What may happen though is if the battle times out and the skeletons start dissolving, he may get a way to get out of here. So Yomi's retreated, but he may get off first. I think he actually escaped, which is not good for the forces of Niffle. Yeah, he died. He retreated. So that was exactly what happened. The skeletons built up. It was skeletons of their own making. Or no, I guess there were skeletons from this side too. So let's see what was the... No, yeah, it was skeletons from Yomi's side. So, yeah, those skeletons built up, and they stuck around basically until this guy died. Or, you know, retreated off the battlefield. Because what happened, just to be super clear, is the Yomi army routed, because they were attacking, so they rout at turn 90. And then the skeletons start dissolving. But by turn 100, these guys start routing. Because the, you know, battle timer. And by the time they went to rout, there were a bunch of... like holes in the long dead so they could get out. And this guy just ran off before the long dead finished dissolving. So that's that. Yeah, so I think we've seen everything here. Yeah, not much to write home about. Let's just review the strategic situation here before we call it into the episode. Lots of low commitment stuff, and I think that's actually another mark of like a reasonably skilled lobby is people doing low commitment things reasonably well. Usually experienced players are pretty hesitant to commit their dim stack, but when they do, they want to do it in a very decisive manner. And that's not like totally true. Like you definitely, if you're playing in an advanced lobby, should doom stack and like roll out with force and fury and all of that. But a lot of the game is also the low commitment game. So but I mean, really it's all ins. It's like low commitment, medium commitment, high commitment, doing those at the right times. But I think what we're seeing here is an appropriate use of lower commitment rating. But like, look at this. So here he hits this. Micklin sends in a Great Hawk to try to take it. Here he sends this in. He's just, honestly, these blood hunters, like summon imps would have probably been really nice here. I doubt they did it. Yeah, they're just doing, oh, they did some. I guess they died. These Belly Mahars have so many attacks. I guess they killed a bunch of imps really quickly. The other thing that could be good against this is like Leech. If they have it researched, they could Communion up and cast Leech. Or maybe even do it. I think it might be Blood 1. I can't remember. Where's Leech? Yeah, it's Blood 1. So they could, yeah. You might need Farcaster to do it, but... yeah. I don't think the game state has changed much. So, yeah, tune in next time, other than the globals. Tune in next time, and we'll see what happens. Until then, take care.